Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a drama thriller film called Sons from 2024. Enjoy your viewing. Eva, a warden, goes to work at her favorite prison, where she has to act as a guard for the prisoners, opening their cell doors. She has developed quite friendly relations with many of them. She teaches the prisoners how to use the coffee machine, sort out their conflicts, and helps them with their homework. Eva also teaches them the basics of meditation to the accompaniment of a tape recording. She spends her working day in such care. One day she notices through the window that a new batch of prisoners is being brought to the prison. One of the new arrivals catches her eye, a man named Mikkel. Eva checks his data in the database, and the information she receives puts a grim imprint on her face. Later, watching the video of the search of the new recruits, she lingers on Mikkel for a long time. She thinks about him even during lunch. Her co-workers notice her condition, and one of them offers to cover for her on the weekend so that she can rest. But Eva refuses and continues to fulfill her duties. While working, she notices the guards taking Mikkel away. She follows the convoy to a high-security unit, where her competence is no longer valid. The thoughts that gnaw at her are reflected in her mood. She even breaks down screaming during a meditation session, which is unlike her. The woman goes to see the prison director to discuss her transfer to a maximum security unit. She admits that she concealed a fact from her biography during the job application process, and now it is affecting her work. She says that the problem is related to one of the prisoners, but she doesn't want to go to the HR department to avoid trouble, so she asks to be transferred to a high-security unit. The director grants her request. Soon after, Eva goes on duty at her new place, where she is met by the head of the department, Rami. The first thing he does is warn her to take off her earrings and tie so as not to provoke the dangerous prisoners. Then she and her partner start delivering breakfast to the cells, including to the one she is interested in, Mikkel. She has to take part in the search of a violent prisoner, who has to be restrained and undressed by force. During the walk, Eva gives the prisoners a cigarette, while continuing to watch the mysterious Mikkel. In the evening, when her shift ends and her colleagues leave the block, she returns to the cell block. Rami finds her there and reprimands her for the fact that guards are not allowed to visit prisoners alone. Eva says that she heard a noise from her cell and decided to check if everything was okay. Then Rami shows her the file with the case of prisoner Mikkel. He is in a high-security unit for the murder of a cellmate named Simon during his first incarceration. After a fight, Mikkel stole a knife from the kitchen, broke into his cell and stabbed him numerous times. Rami says that the inmates here are not innocent lambs, like at her last job. When he leaves, Eva looks at the case file and begins to sob over the victim's photo. Later, as she gathers her things from her locker, she looks at the photo of her son in her wallet, the same Simon who was killed by Mikkel. The next day, when Eva is putting out mail for the prisoners, she takes advantage of a moment when no one is in the office and looks through the contents of the package. She finds a birthday card from Mikkel's mother. In the afternoon, while handing out cigarettes during a walk, Eva uses her position to tell Mikkel that there are no cigarettes for him today. This provokes him to become aggressive, and as a result, he is put in solitary confinement. In the evening, the prisoner calls her to escort him to the toilet. But when he hears a refusal, he realizes that he is dealing with this woman again. Eva continues to abuse her position and puts something in the prisoner's food. However, during the distribution of food, Mikkel throws something that smells bad in her face. As a punishment, the guards give him a bath with a hose, the water pressure of which is regulated by Eva herself, bringing the pressure to a painful sensation. After this procedure, Eva's mood improves a bit, which is noticed by her colleagues in the hard work of supervision. The woman, having studied the list of prisoners' visitors, notices that Mikkel's mother is due to visit him. She goes to Rami to discuss his behavior. He confesses that the punishment for throwing dirt is a week in the isolation ward, but that this is not enough to ban visits. Disappointed, Eva leaves. Watching the prisoners walk through the CCTV cameras, she sees Mikkel talking suspiciously to another prisoner, and then hiding something under his clothes. She informs the guards, and Mikkel is taken away from the walk to be searched. He is stripped naked. His natural body cavities are examined, and his clothes are thoroughly checked for illegal substances. However, nothing is found, which makes the prisoner even angrier. Eva's partner is called in because of a disturbance in the yard, and she says she will handle it herself. When she re-examines Mikkel, she looks into his mouth and asks if he swallowed something he picked up in the yard. She demands a container for urine analysis. Mikkel requests that a man perform the procedure, but Eva does not agree. She threatens that if he doesn't comply, he will be put in an isolation ward, and then his visit with his mother will be cancelled. In order to disagree, Mikkel simply defecates in his pants. But on the day of the meeting, Eva watches him talking to his mother. Soon the staff is informed that the bosses are planning additional searches for weapons and illegal substances. Ava takes advantage of this moment. She goes to the warehouse under the pretext that she needs gloves, but in fact she digs through the evidence room where the illegal substances are stored. She takes a few sachets of powder, hides them in something, and stuffs them, along with a knife, into the box of cereal in Mikkel's cell. During the search, officers dressed in protective suits harshly check the prisoners, breaking down anyone who resists. When it comes to Mikkel's cell, a sniffer dog stops in front of it. He is warned about the search, and he immediately points to the find in the box, shouting that someone planted it all on him. Due to his overly active resistance, Mikkel receives a portion of pepper spray in the eyes. Ava seizes the moment and hits him with a baton to keep him from raising his head. All these events are caught on camera, which leads to an internal investigation. At a meeting with the director and the lawyer, it turns out that Mikkel's nose is broken, and he has a crack in his skull. However, Rami supports Eva, and the director and the lawyer warn that if the prisoner complains to the police, she could go to jail for abuse of power. Rami assures her that Mikkel will not write anything. Ava visits the beaten man in the infirmary to check on him. Later, she goes to his isolation cell to talk to him. Mikkel is scared because he realizes that her hatred can harm him. However, instead of another provocation, Ava takes him out for a smoke in the fresh air. She apologizes for the incident, saying she was scared, and informs him that she is returning to her previous job, so they will not meet again. But for some reason, Mikkel objects. He says that a lawyer has already come to see him and asks Ava to stay so that she can take him for a walk every day and bring him cigarettes. He also wants permission to go to the gym, meditate, and attend school. Ava replies that he will not be allowed to do any of these things after the weapons found in his possession. Mikkel then begins to threaten her. If she does not comply with his demands, he will tell her that she planted the illegal substances and the knife on him out of personal animosity. With this motivation, Ava arranges for his return to a regular cell and his admission to school and meditation. However, now she is forced to conduct meditation sessions not in a group, but alone with him. While immersed in meditation practices, Eva sees a nightmarish vision. Mikkel is eliminating her son. But it's only a dream. She's dozing off in her office. She is informed that one of the prisoners in her old cell block has gone to the other side. She rushes there and finds a room covered in blood. It is one of her former wards, whom she left behind for revenge. In despair and guilt, she goes to the prison chapel where she meets a priest. The warden confesses to him that she blames herself for the death of the prisoner, whom she had abandoned by transferring him to another block. Ava tells the priest that her son Simon was also in prison. He had been a troubled boy since childhood, and he was arrested for assaulting a man, after which the woman felt relieved, as if she had gotten rid of a burden. The priest asks how her son is doing now. Eva says that she has not seen him and has lost contact with him, not admitting that he was killed. While on duty, Mikkel calls her on the phone and complains that he can't sleep because of the noise outside. Fireworks are loudly exploding in honor of the holiday. He asks her to bring him cigarettes to calm down. The woman reluctantly goes to the pantry, takes them out, and looks at the explosions of colorful lights in the sky through the bars. Later, when Mikkel is playing with a ball in the gym, she tells him that her custody is over. She is returning to the old department. In response, he threatens to tell his lawyer the whole truth. Ava proposes a deal. She will arrange for him to see his mother on the outside, and after that they will be even. She applies for a short release to meet her mother and go for a short walk, claiming that Mikkel's behavior has improved. She explains that a breath of freedom might motivate him to make positive changes in his character. The commission gives her permission. Soon Mikkel is taken away under guard in a specially equipped minibus, under the supervision of Eva and her partner. Although she does not interfere with their communication, his mother insists that the warden have lunch with them. Mikkel tells us that in prison he attends school and goes to yoga. His mother asks if he will continue his studies after his release, and says she is proud of him. Then he suddenly bursts into tears, saying that his mother should not have invited the warden to the table and wants to go to his room. But the bossy mother orders him to sit down. Enraged, Mikkel smears food on her face. The hostess and her son go their separate ways, leaving Ava to reflect on the fundamental difference between her son and the prisoner. If she could not control Simon, then Mikkel's mother, on the contrary, puts too much pressure on him. After the visit home, the prisoner is taken for a walk in the park. When the time is up, he tells Eva that he wants more time on the outside, despite their agreement. Then Ava confesses. She is the mother of Simon, whom he killed. Upon hearing this, Mikkel rushes to escape, realizing that her company does not bode well for him. The woman runs after him and eventually finds him in a ravine. She puts her hands on his head and squeezes the dry grass as if making a decision. Soon she releases him, allowing him to breathe in the air greedily. When her partner arrives, Ava looks up at the gloomy sky as if to ask, how to go on. She takes one last look at Mikkel before he is returned to his cell. Behind bars, he has a fit of aggression against the guards, who leave without even removing his handcuffs. In the corridor, Rami is talking to Ava about her transfer to the old block. Meanwhile, Mikkel sees his murdered cellmate from the corner of his eye, the eternal ghost of his unquenchable guilt.
If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klonsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.